Well, hello. Welcome to today's ScanSnap Partner Webcast. We're excited to have NoticeNinja join us. I'm Scott Francis, your webcast host. Let's go over a few housekeeping items before we get started with today's webcast. First, excited to announce that we're going to have an IX2500 scanner drawing at the end of today's webcast. So make sure to join. Make sure to stay until the end of the webcast. End of the webcast to be in that drawing. End of the webcast to be in that drawing. Two, we're going to have some live polls come up during the webcast. So be ready for those poll questions. We'd love to see your feedback. And also, we've got a resource section. So a copy of today's webcast. We've got some attachments from both the Ricoh document scanner team here for ScanSnap, as well as NoticeNinja. So check those out as well. And we'll have a post-event survey as well. Let us know what you'd like to see from future webcasts. Tell us about what you thought about today's webcast as well. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. So first, I'd like to introduce our guest speaker today. Rick, please say hello to the ScanSnap audience.
Hi, everyone. How you doing? Excited to be here. Excited to show you our partnership that we have with ScanSnap.
Awesome. Well, Rick, thanks for joining us on today's webcast. All right. So let's get started with a poll question. So this is a poll question I love to ask. It's coming up on the screen now. Are you still storing paper documents? We'd love to get your feedback. Is it yes, we're storing them on site? Or yes, we're storing them off-site, or maybe you're doing a combination of the two, both on-site and off-site. And of course, how about you out there that are 100% digital? It is possible when you're using products like ScanSnap as well as NoticeNinja. So I'm seeing some responses come in. I typically ask this question when I'm out in the field at conferences or I'm doing virtual webcasts, and typically the response rate for question A is 50%. And true to those statistic norms, we've got 55% of you choosing A, yes, we store them on site. 9% are storing them off site. 9% are storing them both on and off site, and 1/4 of you, this is impressive. This is typically about a 10% response. 27% of you are 100% digital, actually down to 25, but that's still impressive. And again, with products like ScanSnap and NoticeNinja, you're able to tame all of that incoming mail. And when documents come in, you're able to quickly digitize them so you don't have to deal with that paper. We know paper keeps coming in. The right way to do it is to use ScanSnap and products like NoticeNinja to manage that electronic content. Well, thank you for that. I'm going to close the display. I'll leave that poll open for now. You can access any of the polls on the right side of your screen. All right, let's continue. So for those of you who aren't using ScanSnap, it's the best way to digitize your documents. It's simply scanning in a snap. And the reason why is ScanSnap is fast, it starts quickly, it wakes up from sleep quickly, and it's got automatic intelligence to make sure your documents, whether they're upside down, right side up, portrait or landscape, whether they've got color or just monochrome content, whether it's simplex or duplex with blank pages, regardless of its letter, legal, or sizes in between, ScanSnap can sort all of that out and make your documents look great. When you scan documents, you want to get the full details and you want to be able to access them wherever you are, whenever you need them. That's what ScanSnap's all about. And in case you haven't heard, we launched the IX2500. It's now available and it replaces the IX1600. Let's see a quick 60-second video to see what the IX2500 is all about. And here we go.
Treat yourself to a better scanning experience with the ScanSnap IX2500. Scan documents, photos, receipts, and plastic cards. The responsive, seamless touchscreen feels like your smartphone. The high-capacity document feeder holds up to 100 sheets, and it scans at an incredible 45 pages per minute. There's no need to adjust drivers or settings. ScanSnap Home makes scanning effortless. It sorts, cleans up, and names files automatically. You can even make them searchable. Save scans to your computer, phone, and favorite cloud services. Quick Menu lets you simply scan, drag, and drop to any app. All this in a sleek package that looks great in your home or office. Get the scanner that does it all. The ScanSnap iX2500.
All right, we're excited about the new ScanSnap iX2500. It comes in black and white, available now. And let's hear a little bit more about the new model. Today's webcast is really about the NoticeNinja solution. But for those of you who haven't checked out the new iX2500, it is faster at 45 pages per minute, as you saw in the video. And if you're scanning things like photos at 600 DPI, it's still 13 pages per minute, letter size in full color. So it's fast in all resolutions. We've doubled the automatic document feeder size. So if you've got those large document packs, you can now scan up to 100 at a time using the iX2500. We have an enhanced touchscreen display. The screen has gone up from 4.3 inches for the iX1600. We're now up to 5 inches, and it's bright and it's super responsive. And the reason it's super responsive is we have a whole new chip technology that we've designed and manufactured. ScanSnap's got hardware intelligence inside the scanner. It helps rocket power that touchscreen display, and it helps those fast scanning speeds, whether you're scanning to your computer, Windows or Mac, whether you're scanning to your phone or tablet, iOS or Android, or whether you're scanning direct to the cloud, deviceless. You can use your ScanSnap in all three fashions, and that hardware accelerator makes it go. We even have Bluetooth setup, so when you're setting up your ScanSnap, it's easier than ever. Bluetooth will help you identify your computer or your device or your scanner. So it makes connecting the two very easy, and you can use it with USB-C connectivity or wireless. ScanSnap is easy to use and it's easy to set up. So let's go back to our poll questions. Let's learn about how you're accessing your scanning device. So our next poll question is, do you have to walk to your scanner or MFP to scan documents? And the answers could be yes. I'm using an MFP, so I get up from my desk, I walk over to my copy machine to make those scans. Or B, I'm using a shared scanner that I am walking up and accessing. Or C, maybe you've got ScanSnap and you've seen the magic firsthand that ScanSnap is small, it fits right on your desk, and you can easily reach over to it. Or D, is there another method that you're using? So I can see we've got some ScanSnap fans on today's call. Thank you very much for joining. About 67% of you are choosing option C, and it's great to see everyone on today's webcast, regardless of how you're doing scanning. About a quarter of you are using an MFP that you're walking up to, and 8% are using another method. All right. So again, we can save you time, and time is money, and time is productivity by putting ScanSnap right on your desk. Thank you very much. I'll leave this question open as well in case there are some more responses, but I will close the display and we will march on. All right, so again, 67% of you chose that you've got ScanSnap on your desk, so you know firsthand everything it can do. It gets rid of all that paper clutter. Almost a quarter of you are paperless, and that's because you're using ScanSnap to scan all of that in all of those incoming documents. You can find information faster wherever you are. You can communicate with your business peers and customers much easier and more accurately with those full color scans with all of the document details. You can digitize your receipts, and you can really run your business with faster speed and higher productivity. And that is the topic for our call today. With NoticeNinja, you can handle your compliance notices in an automated fashion. In just a couple of moments, Rick's going to jump on and actually walk us through that solution. ScanSnap works with solutions like NoticeNinja to really extend the benefits of digitizing your documents for your business. So let's do one more poll question for today's webcast. I'll go ahead and fire it up. How do you handle your mail delivery? Let's hear your responses. Do you do it the old-fashioned way? The mail comes in, we pick it up, we sort it out, and we deliver it one person at a time. Or two, are you scanning your incoming mail and distributing it digitally? Or three, are we outsourcing our mail delivery to a third-party service? Maybe they're scanning the mail on your behalf, maybe they're delivering the mail, or is there another method out there? So far we've got some responses coming in. Just over a third of you are doing it the old-fashioned way. It's a little harder these days if your employees are in different locations, right? B, we scan incoming mail. Again, about 1/3 of you. And no outsourcing. And then option D, other, is about a third as well. All right, so ScanSnap is great at tackling the mail, and NoticeNinja is great about distributing that content. So again, we're excited to have Rick on today's call. And at this point, Rick's going to take over the screen and he's going to show you ScanSnap in action with NoticeNinja, and we'll explain how NoticeNinja works for all of your compliance documents and more. Rick, please take it away.
Excellent. Hey, thanks, Scott, for that. Great information. We're super excited about our partnership with ScanSnap and how it's made really our clients' process a snap when it comes to scanning the notices in and bringing them into our system. I'm going to basically show my screen real quick and show some of our system. It's really our ingestion process where our clients ingest notices. Most of it all the time that comes from a PDF notice. One thing about those PDF notices, not all PDF notices are the same. Not all scanners of those PDF notices are not the same. So having a quality scan that comes in allows us to scrape the notice or the data off the notice itself. So not only is the partnership with ScanSnap really truly huge for us, is the quality that they provide is makes the quality of the work that we provide our clients even more even better. So thanks for that. Let me share my screen. Come in here. Let me see here. Can you see my screen? Should be a PDF real quick.
It is starting to come up, and there it is. We're all set.
Great. This was just a little bit of talking points about the different things that we have with ScanSnap and the benefits it provides. I'll provide this later with the follow-up as well. But I'm going to go into our system here. This is our data capture screen. And in essence, most of our clients use this where they have to come in and scan a notice. They'll come in and look for a notice, go in and drag and drop where it's at, or find the location if it's a box or wherever it might be. So it's a manual process. With the new ScanSnap, if you can see my screen, like, my picture, I've got the notices here, and our clients basically in their mailroom, some of them will basically put it all in one. Some of our clients only go in because of remote work and the processes now. Some clients only go into their office once a week to grab the mail. So they'll scan all of it in one. So it's awesome. This can do up to 100 pages at one time. Other clients will just bring in one at a time. And it's simple as putting the notice in the scanner, selecting the scanner. I've got it preset. So a lot of our clients, we don't just scan tax notices. We scan the tax notices, refund checks, agency inquiries, vendor inquiries, which would be like, invoices, anything that comes like business mail. I've got a couple presets already, so I can say, hey, this is where I want it to go to. Just allows ScanSnap, basically the configuration allows it to configure the same way that our system allows us to configure. So we really match on that process. So it's simply a single click where I want to send it to. This is a tax notice. I want to send it in. And what you'll see is it's going to scan it in. It's going to bring it into this folder that I have on the screen here. So you're kind of seeing some of the behind the screen magic. So there it is on the screen. It's scanned it into the folder that we've configured. And now what's going to happen is it's going to start scanning it into here. Usually our scans take anywhere from 10 to about 30 seconds to start. So it's pretty quick. And as you can see, we're scanning it in now. So for our clients that do a lot of volume, and or a lot of exceptions where, like, it goes to a lot of different people, they can quickly now have a scanner on their desk that, once again, I don't have any wires connected to my system, right? It's truly is some magic going on here. It went from here on my desk into the network folder that I've configured into the system and started processing. And now you'll see within a few minutes, this has created a workflow, and someone on the tax team has been assigned a workflow with the data elements that is scanned off of it. And this is like a sample of one of the notices that it scanned off, and the data that it grabs off the information. So for our clients, this is truly, magical for them when they see that they can go from a piece of paper like this and simply just go in and push a single button and have it create an actual document workflow, and assign it to a tax professional. For them, like I said, a lot of the times they come back to us and say, hey, Rick, this is magical. How does it work? It works really well when we have a partnership with like ScanSnap, where the team allows us to basically configure the same systems on both sides. Another thing that we do is we have a little stamp, and a digital stamp that we allow our clients to use. And it basically puts in these options here. So some of our clients that will scan in, say, 100 pages that might be 50, 60 different notices, allows them to differentiate the first page of each notice, which allows our clients to quickly split those notices in our system as well. That option can be done within ScanSnap as well. So it's like their options meet the same options that we have, which is really nice. So depending on our client's workflow, we get to work with what our clients use. And we don't like say, hey, you have to do it this way or do it that way. We basically say, how do you do it? And we work with them. That was a single page. I could do multiple pages and split those out as well. When they come in, they get scanned in. And so you can see this brought it in, it's done. Once it comes in and grabs all the information, if I needed to split this, I could split it here as well. And once again, that's one of the same options that they have in ScanSnap. So it's all to depend on what the workflow is for each client. There's a lot of stuff that goes on. There's some configuration like on our side and on ScanSnap side. I think it took me, I don't know, 3 minutes maybe to configure my ScanSnap settings, right, for how I needed it. And it just allowed me to really do it. I mean, it was simple. I came into the system, came into my scan area, and configured my different scan options. So I have a scan notice, a scan mail, and a scan refund check. And so now it allows me to quickly go in and push any one of those little buttons here on the screen, single button, and hit scan, and it automatically configures for me. So with the new larger display and the clearer screen, it makes it really simple to be able to have like multiple scans. Some of our clients, like I said, once again, scan all of their mail into the system and allows us to route and classify it and route it to different departments within the system digitally. So another a great feature of the system. Really, with that, that's pretty much all we had, Scott. I mean, It makes it pretty simple when we do the configuration. Without the configuration, I would have to show you about 5 or 6 more screens that the clients have to go through.
Awesome. Well, Rick, first off, this was a great live demo. So team, this happened all in real time. We're not using recordings for the demonstration. And you saw firsthand how quickly those documents were scanned and then entered into NoticeNinja. And then from there, NoticeNinja analyzed the document and kicked off the workflow, as Rick mentioned. And Rick, you're really utilizing the IX 2500 well. You've got a different profile for each of those 3 document types, whether it's a notice, whether it's a mail. You can quickly choose the right profile, scan the documents in. NoticeNinja has a great interface for splitting that document up. So you can use the full 100-page ADF of ScanSnap and then utilize all the power of NoticeNinja to actually process that document, split it if necessary. And you saw how it extracted the information right from the document. So that's no longer a manual process. And then it can be routed to your tax compliance professional so they can quickly react to those notices. That's a huge benefit here. So Rick, great demo. I definitely agree that the products have a perfect integration. And I'm looking forward to just really seeing more. So let's go back.
Scott, one thing I want to bring up to you is I'm not only, selling this to people, we're using this. This is my company. This is NoticeNinja Inc. These are the tax notices that are coming into me from Florida. So this is what we use as a company, is the same thing that we sell to our clients.
I love it. And Rick, I know you're the chief operating officer and founder. So we also have a QA session coming up, but let me ask, who created the NoticeNinja name? It's very cool.
Well, we've been before NoticeNinja, it was ANTS, the Agency Notice Tracking System. So we went through a few different name revisions, and it finally came up to, our users are ninjas, and they're truly, skilled in what they do, and it's always learning. And there's so many different tools that they need. That's why it's the dojo is part of our system as well, right? So it's the ninjas, and I kind of gave you a little peek view of our dojo, which is just the data ingestion part of the dojo.
Awesome. Love that name. All right. Well, let's talk more. I'm going to share my screen again. Let's talk more about connecting it. Rick, you showed it to the users firsthand. So I'm going to show a slide that really talks about all of the connectivity options. So first, for all of our users out there using PC or Mac, with our ScanSnap Home software, it's easy to set up different folders for those different file types, and ScanSnap will scan those documents right into those folders, whether they're local folders or network folders. And the NoticeNinja desktop app will detect those. They come in every minute. It will check those folders and bring those documents in. It's that easy, and that's the best way to use it. But also, when you get a NoticeNinja account, you get a NoticeNinja email address. Any document you send to that email address will automatically be ingested in NoticeNinja as well. ScanSnap's got great scan to email functionality. So you can set up a profile and send it right to your NoticeNinja email address. That's easy too. Or if you're using Box or Dropbox, you can scan it to those cloud services using the desk side app for Box or Dropbox. ScanSnap works perfectly with those as well. And that way, all of your documents go into those cloud buckets, again, Dropbox or Box, and NoticeNinja can ingest them as well. So you've got 3 great ways to use ScanSnap with NoticeNinja if you're using a PC or Mac. They all work great. You get ScanSnap's great magic in terms of the image processing, the image quality, and the speed. NoticeNinja can quickly bring those documents into the dojo for further processing. Also, if you're an advanced user and you want to use ScanSnap without a device at all, this is the pro tip. You can configure ScanSnap to just talk to your router. and talk to your services directly without using a computer or a device to do scanning. You just walk up to your iX 2500, open the cover, it turns on quickly. You'll see all of your Cloud Direct profiles, put your documents in, and you can have it scanned to email, your NoticeNinja email address. You can scan it to Box or Dropbox, and NoticeNinja will ingest the documents as well. So there's a lot of arrows on that screen. The main point is you've got different easy ways to configure ScanSnap. Most of you will scan the folder. That's what Rick showed today. It works awesome. But for those of you who want to scan to the cloud first or scan to email using your NoticeNinja email, you can do that too. All right. And there's more. So the iX 2500 is our new flagship product, but we've got other models as well. The iX 1400 is what we call ScanSnap Classic. It's a USB connection and it has a single scanning button, that blue button right here on the screen. It's for people that just want a one button solution and nothing else. The iX 1400 delivers that. And with our quick menu, you can scan to those folders and use NoticeNinja just like Rick showed you today. Or for those of you who want a smaller solution, the iX 1300's even smaller. It works wireless or USB, and you can use it with the quick menu for that functionality as well. Even the iX 100 is our mobile wireless ScanSnap that also has a battery, so you can take it wherever you go, is another great solution. And then finally, our SV600. You can scan bound documents without removing staples. You can even scan books. And again, all of our ScanSnap models are capable of scanning to a folder, and they work great with NoticeNinja. All right, at this point, we're going to have our QA session. And remember to hang in, because after that, we're going to have our drawing for our new iX 2500. So I'm going to go ahead and go into our QA section, and we'll see what questions we have. Also, for today's QA session, Chase Gutierrez, our ScanSnap product manager, will join us for today's session. So if you've got a question for Chase about ScanSnap, he is here to join us as well. So Rick, here is the first question from our audience. What about security if I'm using NoticeNinja? Can you talk about that, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So part of that is we use AWS's file transfer services, which it's all encrypted in REST and why it's in the process. So it's very encrypted for the two systems. I think I can't talk for the ScanSnap on their side, but when we're connected into a single environment, usually it's our client's network. It's always an enterprise company. It's probably usually behind their firewall as well. So it's behind their firewall, and the files that get transferred are encrypted in transit. So we believe we're using all security processes we can to keep it secure as we can, and we're always monitoring that process.
Great answer. And another question came up about ScanSnap security, so I'll address it as we answer this question as well. The new iX 2500 supports IPv6 as well as WPA3. So we're supporting the latest encryption standards as well. So as documents go from point A to point B, they are definitely secure. Great question out there. All right, next question. Chase, let me bring you up on the virtual stage. We've got a question about the key differences between the ScanSnap iX 1600 and the ScanSnap iX 2500. The iX 2500 replaces the iX 1600. Chase, welcome.
Hi, everyone. It's great to see you all. As Scott said, I'm the product manager for ScanSnap. My name is Chase Gutierrez. Great question. It's one we've been getting a lot since the release of the iX 2500, and one that I'm just always very excited to talk about myself. I would say the main three things that you notice right off the bat with the iX 2500 in comparison to the 1600 is that the first thing, as you see in this image, it has this beautiful, brighter, bigger, more intuitive touchscreen. ScanSnap operates on three main pillars, ease of use, efficiency, and speed, right? And that touchscreen really leans into that ease of use, right? We want to make this experience very easy for our users. We want everyone to be masters of the scanning craft without needing to learn much. This touchscreen really helps that out. The iX 1600 also has a touchscreen, but it's a little bit smaller. It's still great. However, this is just an extra leg up because people who, are Notice Ninjas, they deserve the best equipment too. The next thing too is the scanning speed, right? That other pillar of the efficiency. The iX 2500 speed is 45 pages per minute, which is the fastest any of our scanners on the ScanSnap side has ever been. And then likewise, we have doubled the ADF capacity in the scanner itself. So with the iX 1600, you can fit 50 sheets of paper, which is already very impressive. But for the iX 2500, you can fit up to 100 sheets in the hopper for one scan. As Rick said, he was talking about lots of people sometimes only come into the office maybe once a week or so for mail. If you have a big office with a lot of mail and you can throw in 100 pages at the same time, wow, like you're gonna be able to just whip through that, and your office, day might just turn into an office quick errand because of this new hopper capacity. So those are the three like quick and easy things to notice. Another thing with the iX 2500 is that it comes with the new incorporation of our quick menu. This is also available with the 1600, but it's something that we get excited about just from the launch itself. It makes it very easy for you to plug your scanner in and then unleash all the capabilities of ScanSnap without having to learn too much of the configurations that Scott described. And so that's pretty high level, but if you want more information, we do have a lot more on our website as well.
Awesome, Chase. Chase, thank you very much for that answer. A great new functionality with the iX 2500. That new chipset that we've designed and mass produced is awesome. It really makes all of those features that Chase talked about go great, from the fast scanning speeds to how responsive that touch screen is, to the accelerated hardware image processing, whether you're scanning to a PC or a device or device list. That chipset really makes the scanner go. Of course, the ADF capacity, now 100 pages. It's functionally 100% larger than the iX 1600. So these are all great features as well. All right, so let's continue to go through our QA. Rick, a question about NoticeNinja. Do you have any integrations with other content management applications like Zoho?
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, we do have APIs. We've got several APIs, and they're CRM systems, usually for like ticketing systems and stuff like that for our clients that are service providers. We also have CRM system or APIs, which is basically integrations with tax software as well. Some of our clients use different tax programs, and we also have a full open endpoint API. Some of our larger enterprise clients, they want to pull and push data into our system at will from within their application. And then we allow that with our open endpoint API. We do, with the partnership with ScanSnap, be able to scan the data in and then bring that data in and enhance that data with the data we provide really is a huge benefit for our large providers that use that endpoint API. That it allows them to quickly get that information they need to make actionable items off of real data.
Great answer. All right, next question. My phone app has an app called Adobe Scan. Is this compatible with that? So thank you for that question. And the answer is, if you're using a phone app like Adobe Scan, you would send those images into Dropbox or Box, and from there they can go right into NoticeNinja, or you can use your custom NoticeNinja email address. But also, using the ScanSnap is going to help you digitize those notices more effectively with better image quality that will translate into better recognition accuracy. And we've got a phone app as well, ScanSnap Home for mobile. You can pull an image from your ScanSnap directly into your phone app, and then again, send it into one of those cloud services, or use the email function on your phone to send it right to NoticeNinja. It's a great solution. All right, Rick, next.
Yeah, Scott, I want to just point that out. That's a great example. And I really don't think some of our clients knew that, and some of our prospects didn't know that, because a lot of these notices they'll get in random places when they're not in front of their desk, right? And so they'll right now they're taking a picture of it with their phone. They're not even using the Adobe app. They're just taking a picture. If they could use that app on their phone, it could directly go into the system and be automated through the process. So that's another huge bonus. I'm going to definitely highlight that to some of my clients.
Another tip out there, and again, using ScanSnap for mobile with your ScanSnap is another game changer. Wherever you are, break out your iX100, for instance, scan those notices quickly, especially if you've got multiple pages, get that pristine image quality and get great recognition. And that really lines up our next question, Rick, and this is a really thoughtful question. And it's coming in about, from your experience, Rick, what is the biggest efficiency gain tax departments can expect when they digitize notice workflows with ScanSnap and NoticeNinja? How does that free teams to focus on strategy rather than manual task? Rick, we may have lost you if you are coming off mute.
There we go. My bad. I muted myself again. That's a great question. I think one of the biggest efficiency gains we see is eliminating the manual tasks or the steps that slow down the tax teams of entering notices in the system, which is basically opening the mail, sorting it through the notices, and rekeying the actual data that our partnership basically automates, right? Also chasing down the spreadsheets that they're entering in the system as well. So our clients that are basically able to digitize their notices with ScanSnap and pushing that directly into NoticeNinja to create the workflow. That allows the tax team to really be driven on reactive processes, right? The two things that I'd say the major benefits is speed and accuracy and strategic focus, right? The speed and accuracy, things are getting in there faster, quicker. A lot of our clients are seeing repetitive or what we call correspondence notices back and forth. And so a lot of times they're waiting for those answers from the agencies. And the quicker they get those answers, the faster they can make the decisions. A lot of time there's liabilities behind that. And there's penalties and interest behind that. So it costs them literally, when time is money for these clients, right? Because it's penalties and interest. And then strategic focus. I mean, now you can actually make decisions on accurate, up to date information. Like today, I showed you a real live time data, a demo. Like that wasn't a presentation I created later. That was what I did live. And that's what our clients are doing every day. I talked to one client today and they're like, that doesn't stop. I keep getting notices. I keep getting notices. I'm like, that's what you have the scanner right on your desk for now. Every time you get a notice, you can be able to put it in there. It's like, now I don't have a pile of, notices. I have to go to the scanner and scan. So a lot of things that helps. Great question. I mean, there's other benefits as well. I could probably go on a couple more minutes.
Well, Rick, those were great answers. And I do think that is the key question for today's webcast. And with ScanSnap, the actual digitization process is going to go faster and you're going to have less rescans. With other products, you're having paper jams, you might have image quality failures. You are trying to figure out the right settings on the Twain driver to make it work. You don't know where you scanned your documents, and now you're searching them before they go into NoticeNinja. ScanSnap and the integration with NoticeNinja solves all of those problems. It's fast, it's easy, and you get great images the first time in the exact location you need those images to be automatically ingested into NoticeNinja. So first, you're saving time on capture, and that means those documents are getting into NoticeNinja faster. And if they are compliance documents, they're getting to your tax professionals faster so they can get ahead of the curve and act on that information. It's not about sending someone to go to the HQ location to find some notice, because they've gotten some other notification trying to find those documents, and maybe they need supporting documentation. If you've digitized that as well, now all of that information is available. When information is available, you can make data-based decisions quickly, and data-based decisions are always better than off-the-cuff decisions. ScanSnap and NoticeNinja get you in touch with all of your data. So we're spending less time on the capture process. We're getting information available to the right people in real time. Other accompanying documents are available from wherever people need to log in. It's completely secure, and people can do work that matters, right? That was the second part of the question. How can we focus more on strategy and less basically doing fire drills? And that's what this is all about. Companies that do this, that implement this solution, are going to give better customer service. Rick talked about accuracy. When you're keying in information manually, people are prone to make mistakes. When we use automation, it works the same way every time. So we have increased accuracy, less manual steps. Everything just happens faster and more accurately. So I'm like you, Rick, we can go on and talk about this for hours, but really seeing and using the technology, that's when you get it. This solution is available now. Rick, another question about using SmartVault. SmartVault is another cloud storage application. Does that work with NoticeNinja?
It's not native, but if we had a client that needed it, we absolutely bring it in. Most of those systems all work relatively the same. It's all based on token and authorization. And we've got that with our security compliances, our SOCs, our ISO certificates that we have. So we can integrate to pretty much any system.
Great, great. And Chase, a question for you. We're using old Fujitsu scanners. Do you have any turn-in credits or a trade-in program?
Another great question. Currently, we do not have any trade-in programs or anything like that. We are trying to work on different ways for, our valued customers that are using old products to be encouraged to use the IX2500. So stay tuned for details on that. If you're interested, we do send out a newsletter that will have information on that as well. If you are interested, we can definitely get you set up on that. But yeah, currently no trade-in programs.
Okay. Thank you for letting us know. I usually, Chase, tell people to give their old ScanSnap or Fujitsu scanner to a friend or even a business partner so they can get the benefits of scanning while you get a new model and can really take advantage of all that new functionality. You'll make a friend, you'll make a better business relationship, and you'll really spread the great points about using a dedicated Fujitsu, now Ricoh document scanner. And this does give me a chance to quickly address that. Yes, we are now Ricoh. So we were part of the Fujitsu group from 1990 all the way through 2022. I spent my first 23 years with the company with Fujitsu. We've now moved over to Ricoh, but everything is the same. Our entire company, from our design engineers to our factories, to our staff around the world, we've all moved over to Ricoh. So when you see that Ricoh logo on the scanner, it is the same great product. The only thing that changes is our innovation. The IX2500 is the 8th generation of our desktop model that we first launched in 2002. So ScanSnap is the brand. It is the promise of scanning in a snap. All right, Rick, here's a good question. What do you recommend for customers that want to edit notices to remove private information? So they actually want to redact information from their notice as they process them. Maybe they're doing that before they go into NoticeNinja, maybe it's after, but do you have any customers looking to redact sensitive information from those tax documents?
Yeah, we do have that. We have that in our system. It's part of our edit PDF option. As the scans come in, they get processed. The tax team can go in and redact data off the notice as needed. Right now, it's a manual process because most of the stuff that comes from a notice, for the most part, is a public knowledge, except for like our legal documents and some, once you start scanning and you see the quality and the accuracy that comes in and the efficiency, we start seeing everything come in. So we do see that. We have an option for it in our system to allow our clients to redact information. And also when they do the email communications, we have that same option in there to allow them to redact information off of any images before they send out emails.
Got it. Well, I'm glad that functionality is in there. So no third-party apps are required. Great news. Rick, we've got a couple more questions for you and NoticeNinja. How many notices can the system handle?
Well, it's almost endless. Right now, I think our largest client does around 90,000 notices a month. So, yeah, a pretty large volume, but these are large service providers, that service lots of companies, right? So, our largest corporate company, I think they have roughly somewhere around 30,000 companies that they manage. And then if you think of each company that in the US gets about 3 notices for every state that they're in, you start seeing where those notices start piling up, right? Some of them are what they call throwaway notices. It's just, hey, in 2028, we're going to make a change. But it comes to you because you're a company in that state. So we manage those. We manage a lot of fraud notices. With your accuracy now, we're being able to see notices that are truly out of range and out of like format and flag them as fraud notices. And there's a lot more fraud notices going out.
Great point. Well,
So there is none. I think per hour, I think we can do, I think it's 3,600 scans per hour
great.
to bring in.
That's going to cover the whole gamut of customers and the number of notices they're receiving. That's great to hear.
Yeah.
You guys reach all the way into enterprise levels of document processing.
Yeah.
All right, here's one more question. Can NoticeNinja handle other types of documents outside of compliance notices?
Yeah. So that's usually what happens is we go into the tax department and then we are able to identify all of the notices that don't go into the tax department so well that they usually had to manually reroute, that now we have a system to digitally reroute them for them based on the data off the notices. So yeah, we see a lot of that. On a couple of clients, we're scanning all of their business mail, and some of it we route in our system. Others we classify and then export and email it to outside the system so that at least it's digital with a basic information on it. So we do that a lot, actually.
Excellent. All right, good to see the wide variety of documents we can process as well. All right. Well, thanks again, Rick. We're going to go into our drawing next. Now, for all of our attendees, we will send out a post-event email with links to the session recording, the document archive that you can see here on the dashboard. If you've got additional questions or if you want to schedule a call with myself or Chase or Rick, just indicate in the email. We'd love to have a conversation with you about your unique requirements. There is one more question in the QA I'm going to address in just a moment. But first, let's jump into our live drawing. All right, so our events manager is drawing the virtual wheel. We're going to select one of today's webcast attendees randomly. They will have a choice of whether or not they want a black or white model. So our lucky winner can choose which model they want. And I'm checking, and here it is. I believe it's Suanna Harvey. So Suanna, congratulations. Thank you for being part of today's webcast. And everyone, we really appreciate your attendance. And as we close out today's webcast, there is a webcast special discount. You can use this code. You can get right to our company store and save $30. That last question that I haven't addressed yet is, why is the IX 2500 more expensive than the IX 1600? Well, with the coupon code, you can certainly save up to $30. It brings it down to about the same price. The new product has amazing functionality. and the pricing does fluctuate on the web. So check all the resellers out there, or just use the coupon code and buy it from our company store. But it really is about the same price, and you're getting so much more functionality that Chase mentioned. Everything from the faster speeds, processing, larger touchscreen, larger ADF capacity, and all the new features and functionality. And for all of our core ScanSnap users out there, you know that we never stop. Every couple of months, there's another software update that adds new exciting functionality to your ScanSnap. So the ScanSnap you buy will actually continue to get better. That's one of the best things about ScanSnap. So make sure you're using your online updates for all of our current ScanSnap models, including the IX2500. And with that, I want to say thank you, Rick, and thank you, Chase, for joining today's webcast. And thank you to all of our attendees as well. Everyone, have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.